Okay, everybody. So this was Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen by Bas Lohram. So yeah, the surname is kind of fucked up. Sorry about that. I just tried to read it my best, but you know, it's kind of hard. So amazing pick for this session, Lola. This time, Mati did not pick the song. We gotta mention this because this is the first time that our guest also picks the song. Kind of new. We are improving things. So thanks, Lola, for this song as well. Yeah.
Give me the chance.
Sorry. You're good. You're good. So sorry about that, Mati, but this one is good for Lola. So welcome everybody to the Agora session, and thank you so much for joining us today. Again, my name is Kike, and I will be your host today. So Sophie couldn't make it today. I will be the only host, but we'll keep it up with Sophie. So no worries, guys. We welcome Mati as well, who is going to be our tech master as usual in the end. First of all, I think it's wise to refresh how the structure is going to be. Everyone is going to be muted during the whole session, but obviously the chat is going to be open. We would really like to read all your comments during the presentation and your questions as well. That will be read after Lola's presentation and answered by her. Okay? So what about the last Agora session, guys? What about the personal branding session that we had last month? Here's a poll to let us have a little better understanding on how what your thought is about the last Agora session. So if you please can vote, we would really like to know what are your thoughts about this? If you already started the course, if you are thinking of doing it in the future, if you will sign up, but not right now, just vote so we can actually know. Not to be this like a kind of a monologue, I'll ask Lola, our guest, before introducing her, what she did in the past. I mean, Lola, did you actually sign up for the course?
Yeah, I joined.
Did you do something?
Yes, I did. I started on last Monday, and I haven't posted yet, team. So I need to. I have just shared a post in LinkedIn mentioning I was going to the Agora session, but yeah, I'm about to post 2 posts, one today and one tomorrow. So let's see how it goes.
Nice. So here we have the results. I think it's basically the guys are the same as you that already started the course. So awesome for these guys. I think Doc, Ivan, and everyone who is a really good part of the team are happy to do it and happy to help you guys with this. So let's go with more personal branding in the future. We have our guest today that we actually kind of introduce her, but we'll do it in the Agora way. So our guest today is going to be Mrs. Lola. She is kind of a serial traveler. She's a member of Athyna since October last year. She was afraid of heights, but she does bungee jumping. She used to be afraid of water, and in order to just, get better in that, she started doing kite surf. Kind of fucked up, but she just does this kind of stuff. And where is she based? Well, I think that this thing is like the most accurate thing ever. She's based in planet Earth. Where? Big mystery. But right now, if I'm not wrong, please, Lola, correct me if I'm wrong, she's based in El Gouda, Egypt. Is that right?
El Gouda, yeah, you said it right. Yeah, it's hard. El Gouda, yeah. El Gouda, Egypt.
That's
right.
It. So, already introduced our guest for today. Lola, thanks a lot for joining. The mic is all yours.
Awesome. Well, hi team. Thanks for joining us today. Let's start. Today I will be sharing my experience, the way I choose my destinations, how I plan my budget, and basically some other tips that I find quite helpful to share in case you're thinking to turn up a digital nomad. So I would say, like, here goes the first question for you. Do you think, like, can everyone be a digital nomad?
Can everyone be? Is there anyone who has the guts to be a real digital nomad? We have people voting over here. Nice. We got one person that would never be a personal nomad, just one, because he or she, I don't know who this is afraid of jet lag. What's up with jet lag, Lola? How you kind of manage that?
Well, I have some magic pills, but I think like the Calm app helps a lot to recover your basically your times, your sleeping times.
Okay, nice. Okay, so I think that most of the guys that are over here are actually thinking about being a digital nomad, and a big part, for my surprise, already is packing their bags. So I think we have the proper people here in this session. So just go for it.
Yes, you are. I do. Okay, awesome. Well, I think like it's pretty interesting results, as you said, Kike. Let me agree with you. Based on my experience, I'm going to say yes, we can all be digital nomads. It all comes to organization and planification and deciding where to go, what is your budget, how reliable is Wi-Fi on your chosen destinations, and how many hours you like to be overlap with your team. Okay, so but I would say yes. We all work 100% remote in Athyna, so why not giving it a try and jump together in this adventure? Okay, so here we go. Things to have in mind, I would say, before you start traveling. Okay, these are like my top 10 things I have in mind. First, I would say you should have in mind the length of your stay. Okay, this is 100% on your side, but my recommendation is to stay at least 1 month in each place. Basically, because during the week you're going to be working, and this would lead us to 8 days of holidays. I would say that is going to be your weekend, and in which you're going to be able to get to know the place, the main attractions, anything you might want to do over there. So that's like my first recommendation. Then we have our flight tickets, okay? And when it comes to flight tickets, I would recommend to try to decide since the very beginning your destinations, okay? And why I say this is because the way I did it, it cost a little bit extra money. And this due to that one-way tickets are always more expensive than return tickets, okay? Compared to return tickets. So I recommend that if you are going to buy one way, you do it far away in advance. If you're planning to do it next year, then buy now the ticket, okay? So that's one thing. Also, another thing to have in mind, it's what's the best day to travel. And you might have heard that traveling during Tuesdays is like the cheapest day of the week. But I would recommend, if your budget allows you to travel during Fridays or Saturdays, okay? This might be costing a little bit more, but allows you to get like to have the weekend already in your destination you choose, to be able to settle down calmly, change down and get to know the surroundings, and where's the supermarket, the pharmacy, check out like where's the coffee shop you're going to be probably working. So on Monday morning, you have everything ready and you just start working. Then,
sorry to that. So is this a myth that traveling during Tuesdays or Wednesdays is actually cheaper than maybe on weekends, or
no, it's actually true.
Fact?
No, it's a fact. Like, yeah, it's a fact. It's like buying the tickets at 3 a.m. you may find really quite interesting offers, and also traveling through Tuesdays and sometimes Thursdays is cheaper. Yep, no, it's actually true.
Nice.
So if you can do it, go ahead. Yeah, sure. Visas. So in terms of visas and migration stuff, most countries require a return ticket. And if you're not sure where you're gonna go next, you won't, you may not want to buy a return ticket, okay? So I recommend some websites that you're gonna find it when ends up the last slide. You're gonna find these websites, but basically allows you to buy a return ticket that is 100% real, issued by the airline that expires 14 days after you buy it automatically, okay, without any action on your side. You pay $20 and receive a return ticket on your email that allows you to enter the country you want to go because you have a return ticket. So once you get to the airport, you're gonna present this PDF that is real. They're gonna see them on their system. I have been doing this for the past 8 months. And after 14 days, this disappears, okay? And this whole service costs $20. Cool. Another option, and you may also be hearing about this, it's super interesting, is digital nomad visas, okay? Currently, there are around 20 countries. They're offering this type of visas, and probably more on the way, I would say. But I base my top 5 on how hard it is to get them, okay? And the cost of living on this place and the requirements. My currently top 5, it's first Portugal, second one Georgia, Mexico, Colombia, and Bermudas. You also are gonna be able to find on the last slide the link to how to get them. I hope Spain gets it. Yeah. Okay. And then COVID-19 restrictions. Luckily, I think nowadays it's easier than 2 years ago, or even 1 year ago. But I would recommend always checking IATA website. That is the International Air Transport Association. That is gonna give you like the most updated information, okay? So every time you're gonna be traveling, just check there what are the requirements regarding COVID-19, and you're gonna find like the most accurate information. Then when it comes to Wi-Fi speed, okay, always checking websites like Speed Test is the one I always use. The speed and the quality of Wi-Fi, okay? Because also something that has helped me on the past is joining Facebook groups, digital nomads and non-digital nomads groups, and asking them for locals and another places where you may find reliable Wi-Fi, okay? And this is super important because you think like, okay, I just get to the place, everything's gonna work, and then for example, this happened to me in Tanzania. I was in the middle of an island in Zanzibar, and the Wi-Fi was definitely not reliable at all. Every time we had a storm, the Wi-Fi, sorry for the word, fucks up. So basically this check, it's really, really important. Then we have time zones and seasons of the year, okay? And this is related to the hours of daylight you're gonna be having available for each day, okay? So it's super important to check this because apart from the weather, and other clothes, the weather and the clothes you're gonna be taking on your luggage, it's also gonna be determining if you're going to be able to go for a walk after work or not. Okay, so because if you end up at 6 and it's winter season, definitely it's gonna be night. So have this kind of things in mind too. And something, this is like I'm spoiling my next post in LinkedIn, but it's working from coffee shops. There's some stuff I've been learning. That's a video of Tanzania in Zanzibar. This is some of my recommendations. I would say try not to spend hours occupying a table if you're going just to order a cappuccino, okay? Every coffee shop you might be working from needs to make money. So if you have low budget and you're trying to save money on food, drinks, I would recommend working more days from your place and getting to a coffee shop occasionally. Another tip would be aware of the background noises like blenders, coffee machines, loud music, people talking and moving around are not ideal if you're having calls with clients, especially with clients. And always take adapters and cable stations with you. You never know if you're gonna find a table without a close plug-in. So if you're planning to work all day from there, just like remember to take the extensions, okay? To basically charge your electronic devices. And well, this is something that didn't happen to me, but I was there when it happened to a friend that was working with me. Constantly remind yourself to put your drinks as far as possible from your keyboard, okay? You may never know when something can fall and you're gonna end up without your working tool. And you may probably not have in mind spending $1,000 on a new computer. So some of my advices when it comes to coffee shops.
Sorry, I have a question about this. So how did you do being in the sales department and having a lot of calls with clients, especially clients, as you said, with these specific meetings? Did you have them from your hotel, from your hostel, from your room? Where did you manage to do this? I mean, sometimes you went to this coffee, but then you return to the hostel or the hotel to have these specific meetings and then return to the coffee. What do you do?
In most cases, what I used to do was like really do a good research on coffee shops and co-working coffee shops, I would say, because these are the ones that Wi-Fi had the most reliable Wi-Fi, and also the music is not super loud. Because if you go to a random, maybe I don't know, Starbucks, you never know how loud it's gonna be the music. So in my case, I was always doing a research on the previous day regarding to my agenda and how many calls I was planning to have, on which I was going to be working from. So it was always like a day before trying to make a research for the next day.
Perfect.
And then we have health insurance. Super interesting because if you have credit cards, always check with them if they don't provide you with any kind of health insurance. Most of them do, depending on which credit card you may have. We are contractors, so I don't know. And regarding to different requirements of each country, if we all have credit cards or not. But most cases, they have partnership with a SIS card or Universal Citizens. And also your current health provider from your country may also offer you this kind of service. And we don't know this kind of classes, but they are, in most cases, they are included. Nowadays, for example, I'm traveling with the one that in my case is called Sancor Salud. It's from Argentina, so maybe the worldwide team doesn't know this one, but they offer me this kind of health insurance while I'm traveling abroad. If you don't have your own credit cards, you can always ask for your family members in case they do. They can do an additional credit card. You may not use it, but you're gonna have the same benefits of having this health insurance. And last but not least, backup savings. Okay. I would like to speak of the importance of this, okay? Because having some backup savings higher on your socks, your undies, your pillow, wherever you want to hire, you never know. It's super important. Your wallet also, like you may have on your wallet your cards, and in case it got stolen, it's just the beginning of a big nightmare. So always have some backup savings for just in case situations, okay? You never know. So have this in mind. And then let's go directly to budgets. I think this is like, this is important. Okay, when it comes to budgets, budget by itself, my monthly budgets are not always the same, okay? So they might be changing regarding to my interests and preferences. They might be changing in each destination, but my non-negotiables, they never change, okay? So it all comes to be loyal to yourself and listen to what brings you joy and peace. okay, and prioritize your mental health. For example, my non-negotiables are, I don't enjoy sleeping in a mixed room, okay? I prefer to pay a little bit more, but just go to a female one, okay? I'm not gonna give details about this, but I think like, based on my experience, I prefer this. And also, I would recommend try not to work from hostels. The environment affects and distracts me a lot. Okay, this is my case. I need to work in a quiet place, so staying at the hostel to work is probably not an option for me. Co-working spaces sometimes are a little bit more expensive, around 10 to 15 US dollars per day. So I did I always do this kind of really good research on coffee shops, okay? Because I can spend maybe 10 US dollars per day or 15 US dollars per day, but I will have also food. So it brings me like two things in one. And also I may do some friends and share like, you know, the some tips when it comes to digital nomads, and it's quite interesting. So, okay. Nice. I think we have a poll now.
Yes, we do have a poll. So guys, what would you prioritize being abroad? I mean, Lola's main thing is probably the room, the accommodation, but what's the most important thing for you? This is a multiple choice. You can pick more than one, but just in order to let us, especially Lola, know which are like the most important things for you to take into consideration when traveling or when being a digital nomad. We already have almost 30 guys voting, and I think that this is clear as water, Lola. I mean, Wi-Fi. We have almost 25 guys with an anxiety problem. It seems that they cannot wait for Wi-Fi to just work. So, hello, anxiety guys. This is an anxiety guy talking over here that actually have Wi-Fi problems every single freaking day. I am not patient at all. And I think Lola would agree with me. Don't you?
Yes, I definitely agree with you, Tim. But when it comes to Wi-Fi and this kind of things, you may not be able to control everything on your plate, okay? So, of course, do the proper research. Of course, after my experience, don't go to an island in the middle of nowhere. But in case you're struggling with Wi-Fi, you need to rely on your team. Always have good communication, and in case you have some calls you may not be able to cancel, just try to speak to the team and rely on them and ask for help. For example, in Tanzania, I was saying every single night, not every single night, but when we used to have these kind of storms, really strong storms, tropical storms, the day after, I didn't have Wi-Fi. So I was freaking out. I suffered. Like the first days were like really like I was by that time on Luki's team, and I was sending photos. I was in the middle of nowhere with the water up here, a disaster, and it was like rely on them and asking for help, and they helped me a lot. And yes, maybe that day I wasn't able to work. I worked during weekends, so you adapt and you just adapt to the situation. That's it when it comes to Wi-Fi. Then,
that's it. Nice.
Yeah. So when it comes to accommodation, I would say staying in hostels is the best option. Okay, why? I always prioritize the location, and hostels in most cases they are well located. Basically you end up early. Why I say this on location, because if you end up early than you think at work, you may be able to go for a walk, okay? You may not want to pick up a taxi, a bus, and a lot of I would say to transports to get to a main attraction. So being well located is super important. Also, if you're going to be traveling by yourself, super important, okay? Also, in a hostel, it's a low cost, you meet people, you have a kitchen, which helps a lot to save money. Cooking is the key. Then I'm going to talk about this. but also has like another, I would say, the consequences or the non-benefits, that is like you may not have a place to wash your clothes, and sometimes like in case you're not staying in a Selena style co-working place, you may be a little bit distracted because of the environment, because most of people are traveling, okay? They're on a vacation. And if they are on their vacation, they just want to party, and maybe you're in a work mood, and this is gonna distract you. So that's why I was mentioning before, trying to go to coffee shops and not staying at the hostel to work. But apart from this, I have definitely, like, I would definitely recommend to stay in hostels. My experience has been great. Then we have the SIM card. And this is maybe more for the females. I know getting off the plane and having like a SIM card at the airport is always more expensive than doing it in town, than buying a SIM card in town. But first, my safety, like that's like my top priority. And I prefer to get outside the airport with my SIM card activated and see where the Uber taxi is gonna be taking me. Like also, if I arrive at 3 a.m., like I really prefer to have this set down. And maybe it costs like $10 extra, $10 extra bucks. But well, I mean, I'm not gonna turn up more millionaire because of this, and it's like my safety. So I would recommend, if you can and your budget allows, try to buy it on the airport. The plans are always the same. It's just this variation on price. Okay. Next one, it's food. And I love cooking. I don't know you guys, but I really do. And if you have the chance to cook and to buy stuff on the local markets, I think it's the best option. First, because you're going to be saving money, and also because you're going to have the chance to experience the local tastes. Watch out with the spices. But apart from this, I think like it's like getting immersed on the place you're staying, so meeting the people, their culture, the food talks up so much about the places you're going to be staying. So have this in mind in case you can, just buy stuff and cooking on the hostels or Airbnbs, wherever you're going to stay, and also give it a try to the local markets. And
so, Lola, talking about specifically about the food, kind of a food lover, as you've already noticed. So
yes, you are.
My question over here is, I am, that's for sure. My question over here is, if when you travel, the times that you need to cook, do you actually cook your hometown recipes, or you actually talk to the local guys? You like, hey, what's the normal thing to cook over here, and you try doing those things, or you actually just go to the market, get tira de asado, choripan, and you just cook it? I mean, what's up with that?
Okay, I think it's an interesting question, because I turned up vegetarian while I was traveling. So this changed like my whole diet, So I love cooking, but sometimes it's hard, and also when you're a vegetarian, to find all the ingredients you may need and to have like a balanced diet, okay? But I also always try to ask to local people, so people that are gonna be probably working on the hostel, for the local recipes. And I have on my notes on the phone, local recipes, international local recipes. And I always try to give for like at least 2 dishes of the place, learn how to cook them. Because when I return home, we have with my friends these weekly dinners, and we always cook. My group of friends were 12, and we always cook for each other. So I love bringing new dishes to them, and I always try to cook as much as I can and learn from the local places. So yeah, of course I cook our national dishes, but I try to improve and to give more variety on them.
Nice, good to know.
Okay, and entertainment. This is super personal. And I think on this one, like, you should always listen to yourself, because, for example, like you may go to some tourist places in which it's, you know, super defined where to go, what to do. But if these things don't bring you joy, just don't do it, you know. I think this way, I mean, of course, you're going to Paris, it's like you need to see the Eiffel, but I don't know. I'm always like saying, like, try to do the stuff that it's gonna be rememberable for you, you know. For example, as I said, like, well, no, Kike was mentioned this before. It's not that well known, this bungee jumping in South Africa, and it was definitely not super close to where I was staying. We did with my boyfriend like a 4-day trip to get there, but it was something like I really wanted to do. And there were a lot of another kind of spots or stuff to do that are gonna be more well known. But I prefer to do this. So I mean, you should listen to yourself and do the stuff that is gonna bring you joy. And try to adapt your budget to this kind of stuff. You may be saving in some places and spending a little bit more in other ones. It's just like a thing of balance and being well organized with your budget and your planification. And that's it.
Nice.
And this was I was saying before. This is our like the useful websites I always trust and use when it comes to traveling. This is the flight without return, the one I was mentioning that's gonna give you the ticket, the fake, non-fake tickets. When it comes to sightseeing, I never buy like I think in the past, I think I did it only once, bought a ticket from Get Your Guide. I don't use it to buy it actually, the tickets or the main attractions I'm gonna be doing from their website, but I always use it to get to know what to do in each place. Okay, so it's like something for me to have. Okay, they recommend this and this. This I would like to do it. This not. I mean, and I just have more options. As I said also before, try to join digital nomads groups on Facebook. Maybe you don't use Facebook anymore. Give it a try. It helps a lot. And when it comes to digital visas and the Wi-Fi fees, there are also like 2 websites I put over here. So you can give it a try and see which you're gonna be your next destination when it comes to digital nomad life, and the Wi-Fi speed to give it a really good chance of testing it before you get there.
Okay, nice, awesome. So thanks a lot, Lola, for all this presentation. We have a couple of questions though. We have the first question of all was from Ivan, that he was actually asking if you get those magic pills in the park. What's your answer for that?
Depending which ones. Most of them no. But you never know. Ivancito, you may know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, I'm just following a little bit on those magic pills, and just to finish the concept, Cuckoo was actually asking that if you plant those magic pills, do they take you to the giant's house or something like that? I mean, I don't know what kind of pills you actually drink. I don't think I'm supposed to ask you that, but if you want to answer, you're free to do it. I mean,
okay, let me show you what I'm still talking about. Are you ready, Tim? I'm not the good influencer. He gets scared. I know he's scared.
oh, there she goes. Am I the only one afraid, or oh, ooh, that actually seems like magic things.
Yes, they're magic pills, and I'm just kidding. There it comes. No, magic pills comes to sleeping pills, guys, please. That's okay. It, nothing else.
Good to know. So now actual presentation questions. So Ivan actually, the first thing that he asked is that if you know if the internal flights here in Europe, if you do need a PCR test or some documentation, maybe I can help you out with that, or I don't know if you know it.
Yes, I definitely, I don't know which the destination you have in mind, but I think like the IATA website is gonna offer you this information, like the most accurate one. And it brings you like from which country you're flying and your final destination, and also like your residence country. It gives a detailed info on everything. But it's the IATA. Well, I think it's on the last slide, but this is the website.
Yeah, I've shared the web page a couple of comments ago, so everyone
Awesome.
can check it over there. Awesome, great. So now Lynette has a couple of questions, three questions specifically, but I'll do the first one first. What do you do if you go to a coffee shop and their internet is terrible, or they don't even have internet because it's broken or whatever? Because you said that you actually Google those coffee shops first, but shit happens. So maybe the Wi-Fi is down or whatever. What do you do in those situations?
Well, I'm trying to find, but let me see if I find here. I have and this is a cute word to call it. It's called pituto. I don't know the English word for. I call it pituto. It's a small thing like this.
It's like a thingy
Small device
in English.
I want. It's like a small device like this in which you insert a SIM card. Okay. So what I do is also you're gonna be spending maybe a little bit more money, but in case the place you're gonna be staying doesn't have proper Wi-Fi, super reliable Wi-Fi, you buy a second SIM card and you put inside this kind of router, small one, and you use the USB of your computer to connect, and you may be having a Wi-Fi because it's gonna connect to the local network of the place you're gonna be staying with this one. So I was through with this one. Now I'm staying at my boyfriend's house in Egypt, so I don't need it. Wi-Fi here works. But in case I would be going to another place, I'm always taking it with me.
Right.
I can send you the name then if you want. I bought it through Amazon.
A little question about this topic specifically. Ellie is asking, where did you buy that Wi-Fi, that portable Wi-Fi?
Yes, okay. So I bought it in Mercado Libre, but I saw it also in Amazon. And I bought one recently for my mom. So she was planning to go to the middle of the farm, and I was okay, I'm going to buy you some. And it's really cheap. Like, it's not expensive at all. Must be costing between the one I bought it, I spent 15 US dollars. And then you change the SIM card in every country you're right.
Great, awesome. So here's the second question from Lynette. She's asking, for the first time nomads, would you recommend any tours or a travel company to do it? And also, do you use travel guides or do you discover places on your own?
Okay, first question, no, you're gonna spend so much money on that. No, just reach out to me and I'm happy to help you planning your next destination, but like that's not an option. I mean, they're gonna charge you so much. Also, influencers do this kind of digital nomads trips, and I had the chance to met one, and he charged so much. So no, try not to do with agencies. Just like make a proper research. And I think with most of the tips I give you here, feel free to reach out whenever you need to. Like you can do it by yourself. And sorry, the second question was?
The second question was if you use any travel guides or do you look for places on your own?
No, I choose places on my own, but here comes, I mean, the main reason is I do kite surf. And I try to follow the winds. So it's gonna be windy season, I try to go to that place. Okay, so in my case, I choose destinations according to the windy season. But that's the way I choose my destinations. I mean, you may have your preference and your own reasons,
Okay, that's actually so poetic. I mean, you follow the wind. It's like, whoa,
I follow the wind.
So deep, but that's okay. So then we have Tobias.
Sorry. Regarding the next question, I have I follow 3 influencers, and I also have 2 websites that help me since like when I start with this digital nomad thing, to plan and organize. So I can share them if you want. Like they give really good tips.
Awesome, right? So then we have Tobias, aka El Colo, asking if you have any particular advice on how to check the best weather for your destination specifically. Over here, Ivan commented that he uses Wind Guru for weather, but maybe you have maybe another platform or another website that you can actually recommend.
I agree with Eve on this one. I like Wind Guru for me is like my everything, because it gives me the accurate winds. So I mean, I use it a lot for kite surfing, to read how the weather and the forecast is gonna be. But definitely use that one. It's the one that you can really rely on, because Google does weather doesn't work a lot, and also the iPhone one doesn't. So yeah, Wind Guru is the best option.
Great. Just well, we are out of questions. I don't know, guys, if any of you want to ask any other question. I'll just remark Karen's comment. I have a lot of Lonely Planet guides, and they are all awesome. I would actually recommend them a lot. They are just just a little book. Maybe sometimes they come with a map, if I'm not wrong. I like to do it, old school maps, paper stuff, writing stuff with, yeah, that's it. My name is Enrique is kind of old as my things. So yeah, that's it. So we have 1 or 2 more questions and we'll be done for this because time's almost up. What's your next adventure, Lola? I mean, you're in Egypt right now. Where are you heading next? Do you actually know that?
Yeah, this time I do. I arrived here 1 week ago to see my boyfriend because we have been separate for 3 months. So yeah, I'm happy to be here just for at least, yeah. My Aussie boy. And I'm starting tomorrow. No, I mean midnight. Today is midnight to Portugal. And I've been staying there for 5 days by myself, and then I meet Josie, Clary, and Sophie, and we're gonna be traveling around sometime, and then keep traveling through Europe. So, team, if anyone is around Europe on this time, please reach out because I'm happy to visit you all. I'm gonna be staying in Europe for 2 months and 2 months. And then return to Egypt and stay here for some time.
Nice. We'll have it in mind. And last question, because we are in time. What's your top 4 travel destinations? Lynette, why 4? I mean, just go with 3, maybe 5, but why 4? That's one
I was
number.
thinking that you're the best. My top 4 destinations. Okay.
Lucky number. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Brazil is my happy place. So that's my top, like the top 1. And that's my happy place. I love the vibe, I love the people, the food, everything. I love it. So that's my top 1. Then I would say I really enjoyed Dubai. I stayed there for 21 days, 3 weeks, and I really enjoyed. Like, blew my mind. Like, I was expecting that. The culture, like that kind of, they're super open mind with a lot of stuff, and I was expecting that. So for me, it was super mind blowing. Then I would say Tanzania. I call Tanzania my school because I felt like in that place, I went to school again and learned the important stuff from life. So for me, it was like my school. And last, I would say Cape Town. I really enjoyed my time in Cape Town. And when I was there, I was with my boyfriend. And it was like our first time living together. So it was like turned out really interesting. And it was a nice adventure. So Cape Town, yeah. my top 4.
Awesome. Awesome. Nice. So, okay, guys, thanks all for joining. That's it for today. We are over the time. Thanks a lot, Lola, for your time, for the presentation, for all the information. Guys, please, if you want to reach out, Lola, bother her, not us. We got nothing to do with her. Just go and bother her. She'll be happy to help you all. And well, that's it. Thanks a lot, everyone. And mic is open for all. If you want to say something, just go ahead, say it. And thanks again.
Thank you, team.
Thank you. Thank you for
Bye
together. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.